I'm using two separate cameras because come on, get your pictures.
I want to put this over here because I just get freaked out. Somebody's going to be like, please.
At home, I have this very skill.
Oh my goodness. This is looking pretty good. Yeah, all kinds of sound up here. Oh, this is so cool. You'll surprise some more people. He's thinking about the
Hey, Lily, did you cut your hair? No, I didn't.
exactly what I said.
Okay, so what I did, my hair was gone, and I got my curls, and I just did it that way. Did it just everybody just I did not know I could do that. Everybody loved it. I mean, I look better, I lost, and it's probably cooler. Oh, and I don't have to worry about that and all of that. Exactly. That's what I did.
Actually, I used to do that when the children were small.
Really?
I put my glasses on.
Scare me.
I know that.
I'll just get.
Yeah, I know, but actually, there's some doctor. But also, it's like, yeah, no, I mean, that's really neat. It does make
All I did was just
change.
walked a little bit. You go along.
Hello, Eileen. You can take Eileen's picture next.
Eileen is next. You're gonna have me Little Gray. This is right. As if I hadn't, I was wondering what it's Labor Day event. I said, here's that Labor Day. I was not there. No, we're not there. I didn't come out, but I get to know Julie because we all said the same thing, and she had getting it every time I talk about him now. He's nice. Yeah, he's very nice. Really? You look so cute. You're beautiful. You so cute. Everybody's talking about my hair. Everybody's talking about my hair. I love it. I love it. Very clean. Very, very controlled. And I lost about 70 pounds. You have. That's true. That's true. Due to good health. I was there. Cholesterol, I was on the ground. They had to take me to the hospital. No kidding. After that, when that happened, that's it. What date was that? Was that a long time ago? This spring? Yes. Yes. Because I was on the ground. You know, well, that's good. Look how thin she is. And got the hair and the I'm a different person. So you changed your diet? Everything. Oh, yeah. I'm a vegetarian now. Oh, yeah. I mean, I eat turkey, no beef, no pork. I guess. Yeah, doctor just love it. And hello. Hi. Hello.
I was told you're doing it.
I think the whole group.
Great, okay, perfect. Do you want?
Sure.
Where would you like me to stand?
Miss Maria. Yes, I have minutes for both of them. I got minutes for both of them. I didn't. I haven't cut it. That's the problem. Well, it's good long then. Let it grow. Here's June. Well, here's the executive board minutes.
Thank you. Here's the guy.
Right here. Also, I found this article, and I made a bunch of copies. This is something we should maybe put on our table.
Like, you see what with me?
There's several of them. There's 5 copies. So
Did you get your photo taken?
I'm not getting my photo.
Why not? Come
You have to
on.
have your immunization shot and your
I don't get my picture.
You have to have your immunization and your picture.
I am, yeah. The camera will break if I go in
You
there.
have to get your tetanus shot.
I could not do pictures. My husband's family gets so mad because his mother being Filipino, they take pictures of everything.
Oh, yeah.
She has to sneak up on me.
And the next thing
You look wonderful, Eileen. My husband would be
you're doing good.
Just put in there compliance to
The kind of state.
compliance to state. Or we'll just put something else. Yeah, reasonable tax. Yeah, put Julia, whatever her name is on there. Or, yeah, put her picture up there. I like her. Now look at this here. I think about it. I think I do that. Really good.
I mean, you can
Anybody over there?
Shoot, I can't get this email.
You know what, Stu, we need to take these photographs of our board members tonight.
We made 5. Several of them. And I think if they really cover. No, that's why I want to put that on the table. I'll make a bunch of copies.
Excuse me.
Sorry, no, I got I'm sorry, I thought you were right.
My mother-in-law will be everything.
And I'm hoping that more people will do it. I do that too. I wanted to get us, oh, yeah.
I love the city.
Yeah. No, I know it's
I'm giving everybody a
No one
copy
wants
of
to be
the
like
minutes
Sarah.
from.
No, not even close. No. Not even Sarah. Not even Sarah.
This is,
It's a disaster.
that's rough, rest, or is it?
You got it.
Well, that's one that we should have, or?
That's the special.
Yes, I sent it out and everybody was supposed to approve it by email, but nobody did. Except Maria.
Okay, I'm gonna turn on the lights. Did you get anybody's photo?
Not everybody, we get Peggy or Lily.
Yes. I find that Julia Roberts picture in my place. I'm about as photogenic as a dog. And dogs are cuter, actually.
I watched it.
Oh, my singing video.
It looks great. You had that little on.
I don't know why. Now she's having to sing that. Wow. I used to take opera years ago. I just got back into it about a year and a half ago. I'm on YouTube. She's famous. I'm famous on YouTube. I think I've had 8 songs, 8 shows. Just put, maybe, there's one called, Edie's First Recital. That's my first one. And then Edie sings. Anyway, you can find them. There's one sings Michelle.
Stuart, it's just his phone number with no dashes or anything, right? Just the phone number.
My last one was, He sings from Avita. I sang, no pricing or
So we can't do the treasurer's report right now.
Just kidding, I'm just kidding.
No, that's what I said.
I know, I decided, otherwise I would have done it. I'm sure.
I go, we
Go ahead.
Okay, guys ready?
For,
Okay, we value people's input at our meetings and we want to show them respect, so please refrain from interrupting the speaker or getting up and walking away from the table when they're speaking. Hold your comments until they're done and then raise your hand and be called on. Okay, we're just going to try to eliminate crosstalkers. Okay, nobody wants to hang out for a brief couple of minutes. Okay, so now, the treasurer report would happen right now, but Mr. Cavalli's not here, so we'll just put that off right now.
is he expected?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, everyone's a step.
he and I thought it was 7. It's always been 7. I think 6:30, so.
Oh.
That's why.
I'm trying to sit.
Go ahead.
Sit here, sweetie. Come here. No, I don't want to sit. Oh, okay, that's cool. So, we had a special e-board meeting last month, and Dee ran out a bunch of copies of it. And I want to know if everyone has had a chance to look at that. You guys that were at the meeting, we want to approve those. Okay?
Yes, I will.
So, are there any people that don't think it's good?
Accurate.
Accurate. Okay, so I think we're good on that, so let's approve those. Okay, so, yes, Carol, you are going to be asking.
All right then. Is there any old business?
Okay, if there is no, oh, you can't, you can shut that off.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Or actually, the old business is from the previous meeting. Was everyone here?
Okay.
And I have minutes from the previous meeting in June. No, what I'm saying is, was everyone at the special board meeting? Because that
Well,
was.
not everyone here was at the special e-board meeting, e-board members were at the e-board meeting.
Okay, so probably the most significant thing, I don't know how to see who you are, was that suspension resignation as president. And so, the new board decided to appoint a temporary president until it became election. So,
Interim president.
serving as the Bronx's temporary flag.
Oh, excuse me, yeah, temporary.
Temporary, until such time as you can have an election, which is going to have to be at the October meeting.
It actually should have been the day,
So we just noticed.
but we just, we should have had like 10 days in front of it. So.
So on September 15th, I'll see you remind
Yeah, seriously.
All right, yeah.
Seriously, miss it again.
Yeah, we will need to definitely send out a reminder 10 days before the October meeting saying we are having an election, and this person, whoever's elected at that meeting will then serve out the rest of this term until we have the normal elections in
Rodney, come on in.
Please come on in. It's cool. It's cool. I have some other old ones. Hi, Ronnie. There's a little clipboard right there by the TV if you want to sign up or sign in on it. Okay, so is that it for the old business? I think so. Okay, so because Chris is stepping down as pres, and did you tell me why you're stepping down as president?
I'm old and tired. I've been doing it for 6 years, and I think I'll do something a little bit, and I'll let the end guys on the other 6 plus now. So there's an opening on the board, that's sort of fun for a membership. Leaving this with Pam, I'm still,
And you're on more ways.
but it's time to I didn't send the message. Oh, and also, the salary negotiation. Miserable. I had just spent double what I've been getting.
We can authorize
Triple. I
that.
got triple, it's triple zero.
But you're not off the hook.
No, I just
No, you're not off the hook. I would like to tell everybody that the president, even if you're a town president, you can appoint somebody to the board. And I would like to appoint Chris to the advisory, to chair the advisory committee. What's the advisory committee? The advisory committee is the guy who says, you know, I think Mr. Can needs to be represented at XYZ event. Or needs to have a position on, you know, XYZ position or candidate or something like that. He tells us, you know, what he thinks we should be represented in or at, And then we say, yes, well, no, we're not gonna represent, friends and schools, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah, I bring that up, you know. They
So-
can catch the arms, but-
According to Bob, the president able to appoint people to the board and elect to appoint this person to the advisor of this club. His wealth of knowledge and his contacts in the community, the political circle, as well as his position as delegate to the party of the CDP, the Los Angeles County Democratic Party, serve to make him a valuable resource to our club. And this is a unique thing because we've already had the first president, Mr. Shibata, who started this whole thing, and then he left. And Chris has been the president for this whole time. So this is like a unique kind of position.
I make a motion that we nominate Chris Robinson to be our advisory committee.
But
It doesn't really.
It doesn't have to be.
No, it's always.
it's
the
not,
president.
he's already in.
I take that.
Thank you for accepting Chris Robinson.
The president makes the appointment.
But it sounds like a good affirmation of what's already been said.
Yeah.
And I pledge to recommend, that's what it's answering, I'm going to ask you to do that representing this organization only as ethics. But do anything else.
Thank you very much. Okay, so Dagmar, would you like to talk about what we're doing in October as far as the election of President Clinton?
Well, I think we pretty much said it, but just to make it clear again and to ask everyone to help remember, the reason we're not voting on the interim president to continue until January at this meeting is that we failed to give the 10 days of notice that's required in the bylaws. So as long as we can get that done before the next meeting, then as Carol said, we can go ahead and vote for the interim president to continue for January, which I think makes it a lot smoother and nicer. And this particular election is under the vacancy clause in the bylaws, and it says that written notice, the replacement officer will be elected by secret ballot from nominations from the floor. So we have nominations from the floor to elect the president. And in the meantime, what we did at the meeting in August was the first part of that, which said that the executive board may appoint a temporary officer until the regular next meeting. Now, we can't actually do a complete replacement because we didn't give the notice, but we could make a motion to appoint the temporary officer as president until the October.
Probably appropriate. Otherwise,
Absolutely. So,
as an advisor, I move.
okay, yeah, we have a
I
motion.
second.
If you're senior advisor,
All the states has to
don't call me American. With my medal on.
I guess since this is Maria's election, I'll finish it. Right? Is there any discussion of it? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I have a question. The president can't vote.
We're all elected, probably not.
I don't
think we have that in our bylaws.
It does not say that, right?
If you don't.
And lots of organizations do not.
So I can look into it.
Oh, yeah.
I can't. Yeah, 6:30. That was
So
right.
change it, we do none of this.
So we have
Actually, means all the
It was on the agenda if you read
I
the.
did read the agenda. I read the time. I read the agenda. I don't have a copy. Okay. All right, fine. Anyway. Yes, yeah, so clarification on that, so you're saying that the president cannot decide paper? Yes, the president can vote.
President can vote.
a tiger.
No, for our bylaws.
There's nothing specific about presidents not voting.
I'm actually glad.
And actually, I know all kinds of bylaws that do not have anything specific. The president's vote, and that's
Technically,
that.
using that point of advice, I would recommend it to revising bylaws that you state that, because technically if something is silent in bylaws, you can review it. Robert says advertising.
Which would be,
So it's a loophole for,
yeah, well, if you refer back to them.
if you want to do something other than that. I think you're right.
Okay. Is there any other discussion? Okay.
About this particular thing, because it's bylaws are another.
So, like any other discussion, we're done with the bylaw. Okay, so is there any other discussion that you want to have regarding this whole business or any?
Yeah, I do. I know you did speak about meetings, but I'm really concerned about our finances. And I really wish that Bobby, here now, because we have a lot of answers. My concerns are practical.
But, two things, this is point of, since he's not here, and it's about finances, able to listen to the rest. So,
Well, can we just talk about it?
well, I don't think it's appropriate to bring issues about treasure.
Well, I think that if you just want to talk about what you want, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, what are your concerns?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, then you should have to push that back towards, well, it's just 10 minutes.
That would be.
Well, it's 5 minutes, so the regular meeting,
He does.
okay. We'll talk about that. I'm sorry. Is there any other discussion? Yes, sir.
You wait for me.
Oh, you
Yes,
see
we
that?
did.
The dog
I
waited for you.
I did. Did you guys pass around that clipboard, so that clipboard right by the TV, you can just sign in? Okay. Oh, no, that's part 49. That's another important clipboard.
Yeah, you'll get to that.
Okay.
Maria's gonna get to that.
Well, I'm on the.
Oh, we just reconvened the board.
Okay, because we have a whole 500 minutes till the general meeting starts.
Let's just start the town.
Okay, I'm going to clarify for me now. So
Yes.
I was not in the memo, or didn't read the memo, but I usually read the memos, about starting at 6:30. So the idea is that the board is now going to meet from 6:30 to 7, and then the general meeting's going to be at 7? Or how do we get other people here if we don't know what time to start?
Well, I sent out a general reminder to everybody that it started at 6:30, that also said that the people would meet a half an hour.
So anybody who would be coming would be the focus.
And the people guy would be here at 6:30, and then the regular guys would be here at 7.
Okay, also,
More so come out.
also you're requesting here at 6:30.
Yeah.
Actually, that's true, and I know, and that I could let it be noted that I was 12 minutes early for 7 o'clock.
Well,
Julie
would
knows.
you like, would anybody on the e-board that hasn't already taken their photo, would Stuart like to take their photo?
Sure.
I'd be happy to do it. Well, one thing I'd like to recommend as your senior advisor is that a lot of people who work, want to, anyway, it's hard to make it 6:30. So that's why we originally moved our meetings, and for the last couple of years, we had it at 7. So most people will, go to the other
So
side.
the e-board is a half an hour before?
No, that was just for the night.
Usually it's everything's.
It's up to you. It's your-
Yeah, right, I just have to
You're
know.
president of the world.
I personally like having it at 6:30 because I'm old and I need to be like at home by 9:30. And a lot of times we start at 7:30. So we can take a vote on it with like the general body and say, what time you guys want to meet? Because my main focus, quite honestly, is the general body meeting starting at a good hour. That's how we get people to listen to what we're going to be doing. The e-board part is all the stuff about how much money we got, what issues we're dealing with, what we're going to say to the larger body. So it really shouldn't take that long, Half an hour before the meeting sounds good. The other option, e-board guys, is to have a meeting on a different date. And, we did that in the past. So when I first joined this club, Cindy Fowler, Chris Robeson, Cindy Goss would meet and form the agenda. apart on a different day from their
Actually, we had an office review.
That was a charter meeting.
But, you know, that's really tough because a lot of us are on other boards, we're on other, and it's like, God, I have to schedule another meeting. So I just figured if we do a half hour for the general meeting, that should be enough time. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay? So, you know,
The only thing would be that the people who usually come, if they're the ones that, they may not come at 7, they may come more towards 7:15, 7:30, because they know that the board is met first.
Right.
So we may have a.
Well, if you say
time or
that
two.
the board's from 6:30 to 7.
No,
why would you come
now,
at 7?
but I'm saying henceforth, they might, for the first meeting or two, they might be a little bit late simply because they don't think.
They'll get some air.
if you guys on the couch, there's some agendas right there.
Yeah, I got the
You got one?
Yeah.
Okay, and there's minutes from the last couple meetings.
We're done that here too.
Yeah.
Here's minutes from the general meeting.
Okay. So, it's 7 o'clock, so let's start the general meeting. All right. Okay, welcome to the general meeting. Goodbye, Cindy.
I'm leaving.
All
All right.
She has an important business call.
So what did you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Sue's gonna scoot out the door. Bye.
Lots of
Bye-bye.
stuff Maria's gonna have.
Thanks for setting up.
Anybody need the June minutes for last June meeting? I have them here.
I put like a copy of everything out.
I can put the June minutes on the table over here.
Okay.
Oh, that's okay, that's at my office then.
So we're gonna go with committee reports, and I would like Chris Rosen to tell us about what happened at the Lake of Valley as far as the.
Well, there were 300 people last week, and there was 3 national. I was not in person. Anyway, we had a really good turnout of volunteers. I think there were 11 calls, and 3 folks like the language, there's some pictures of visibility, a lot of visibility, important, some of the candidates were supporting and some of the not. That's how that works. Unfortunately, it's not a real target-rich environment for registration. Most of the folks are, those are all labor people who are already.
Right.
The main thing was visibility. You guys scored. It put over in the middle of the hot dogs. The hot dogs in the roast corn. You couldn't have it then.
Wow.
And so, it was really doing good faith in order to they're as nonpartisan or as partisan and nonpartisan. So anyway, the point is we have good visibility. We've got a lot of people that flow, get conversations going, nice turnout, wonderful day on this.
When I got there in the morning, Julian Berger was nowhere to be found. Cindy Fowler and I were looking around for him. And one of the gentlemen came up to us, one of our local guys, the Teamster guys came up and said, "What are you looking for?" I said, "Well, actually, we're looking for a spot to set up our booth. And I'd like to set up right next to that tree next to where the tree is." And he just left us, which was really cool, because it turned out to be the best spot. The mayor of Bell, his name is Nestor Valencia, came right up to us and said that he had heard of this kind of thing. I said, Janice Hahn came by, Robert Garcia came by, Jim Deere, the mayor of Parson came by. I talked to him a little bit about Tesoro, the oil company, and what were they doing in Parson. He wasn't expecting that at all. And he kind of said, "Oh, okay." And he just answered a few questions like, "Is the city of Carson going to give any money back to the people that you're making all this money from the oil companies?" Kind of a little dodgy on that question, and she went and left. So it was kind of interesting to have all these politicos come to our Sloria people came by, Patrick McDonald people came by. Of course, all these guys want one thing. They want the endorsement of this guy, obviously. And what I told everybody was, well, maybe the land that I get is endorsing you, but this time you are not endorsing Patrick McDonald, Mr. Sloria. We're not doing that. So I will take your card and your information. I'll bring that up to the club at another time. But right now I can't. Patrick O'Donnell guy left all his stuff there. I'm sorry, but that's why all that stuff.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
I thought we had an endorsement.
No.
It's on the agenda later. Okay.
Yeah, we're not officially endorsing anything right now.
At this point,
At this time,
well,
today,
no.
except for Pete Avenue, yeah.
And Janice and,
Is it turned on?
Not yet, but we're gonna talk about that. I hope that Bridget will find that you there because she's our endorsement, committee chair and, we have to talk about. The other thing I wanna talk about, is at the tabling thing, there was this one woman, Ron Colson was at the building registry. And this young man came up. Actually, let's talk about the other woman that came up. This older woman, doesn't speak very good English, is a citizen, was there to register to vote because she had moved. So, Ron's like, hurry up, get over here, because she couldn't. Yeah, but she told me in Spanish that she felt compelled to vote. She felt compelled to vote because she thought that the president wasn't getting a fair shake. Yeah, and I thought that was amazing, coming from a woman who was born in Mexico, has been here for a long time, became a citizen, and I think for 75 months. So that
She actually said,
Oh,
Obama,
sorry,
and gave a high five.
Oh, and then I know he was so nice and so patient with this woman. So, he's been signing on with it. And then the opposite thing happened. This young man, 18 years old, never voted before, sat down in front of her. She went through the whole thing, and he ended up, taking the part that he didn't have but he was talking about why he wants to vote. And those two people came, I just said, wow, this is exactly why we should be doing what we're doing. Tabling is what made this vote. We need more people to volunteer to table, and we need to spread out. Carol and I are doing the Saturday thing, okay, we're doing the First Friday thing. I'm going to tell you, I'm not really too hip on going to Chase Bank on 2nd Street and registering voters. Why? Those guys already have registered to vote. I'm kind of preaching at the choir. I'd like to go to another spot. Chris and Dugali want to do the farmers market, which is great because that's a high visibility place. We have a history there, and that's good. That'll be on Sundays. You still want to do the Bixby Knolls First Friday thing because that's a fun event and it's only like 3 hours. So that's really cool. But we need more people to step up and do tabling in other spots in town. Specifically, I would like to say the west side, they're underrepresented on that side of the country. And they've got issues. That Steve Corrigan thing, that is not a good thing. I think the more people that register to vote, the more people will decide the fate of people's health on that side of London. So I'm asking you guys all to please consider heading up a tabling event, wherever you want to set it up, and I will help you. We will help. Yes, Sheila.
Did they have a farmer's market here or you
We used to have a farmer's market at the Admiral Kid Park on Saturdays. Unfortunately, not a lot of people came, so that felt good. Yes, you are.
I was just going to say that I was just reading in the Glendon Gazette today that Sunday on 2nd Street is the annual car show, and 30,000 people show up.
Wow.
Car show last year. They had so many people that barely walked shoulder to shoulder. So it just hit me that maybe that's a day that maybe our tabling should be there. I'd be willing to do a shift myself. I mean, we might get some folks. I don't know. Our folks may or may not be. They're coming. Our folks are voters. Well, what I'm saying is whether they're Democrat or Republican voters, they may not know. But the thing is, there'll be a boatload of people down there that are not normally there, and I just think that might be a good thing.
There's
more chairs.
Yeah, they got chairs.
There's a chair down
You sit right here in front.
We got more chairs.
Over here.
Because that's like Street Schweizer, Bill Gleason, and Joe That's
There you go.
Sarah, we got 3 more chairs.
Okay.
Yes,
In District 8, it's called Uptown
Long Beach right now is mostly multicultural area. Everyone
Come on down.
and there's no their farmers market or it's like the first day, first Friday of the Toodles, but they're doing it Thursday nights, and which is just across the street.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean it's just a little ahead of that, so we need to do something for that. We haven't hit that middle yet, and I think we need to.
When is next time they're gonna be?
There's first Thursday.
First Thursday.
So tonight.
First Thursday, first Friday.
I know.
Okay,
It's out
but
Austin's area.
okay.
And you can family and people come up just to the uptown, you know, into the streets. And,
Do you have information that you can email me?
Yeah.
Because I would not mind doing first Thursday, or, wait a minute, what am I saying?
First
That's
Thursday.
our general
I
meeting.
know. But we need to do it, get a group to go up there. It's an area that comes to the attention if they're registered to vote. There's a lot of young people.
Where's that?
That will happen.
It's uptown. You know where Austin's area is?
It's Northtown you're talking. You're
Well,
talking
it's
Northtown?
North Long Beach, but it's the one uptown.
But it's north of the, north of the.
North of Delano?
Delano, yeah.
It's Northtown.
The Long Beach is the Long Beach. They have all these new businesses.
You have to take that into consideration. The reason being is that's the night of our general meeting.
I know.
So, not just because it's Northtown, but that is a concern too. I mean, I'll be quite frank with you. Northtown is, you know, a little bit scarier than the west side. You know, there's a safety issue too.
Yeah, but it's trying to bring everybody down.
I know.
Change that.
Yep.
Here.
Yep. You're right.
That was the only activity, general meeting had ever.
Okay, I'll have more information about it,
It's every month?
Is there another email which you can read?
I don't know, they just said
There's a part
something brand new and I like it.
But
Because I went to one out there.
If we have groups of folks that work during the day, there is a Friday market, Cedar and third market.
I would say any farmer's market information that you think we should go to, just send it to me and I'll research the times. If it doesn't conflict with something like our general meeting, that's a possibility. You know?
And we have the fishing market. These are all good possibilities.
Yeah, getting out the vote is essential. And the thing about tabling is that the person that heads up that particular event, that person has to be willing to go to the garage, get the canopy, get the table, get the suitcase with the voter registration cards, do all those things, load it into your car, drive to the place, get out of the car, set it all up, make sure all your balls are there, be there the whole time, and then take it all down, put back in the car. I know it sounds like a pain, but you know you can do it. When we've been doing it, it just needs more people to do it. Okay?
I think that the canopy is a little daunting and we get used to it. It really does go up and down.
You know, on the first Friday thing, I don't say the canopy. There's no need for the canopy.
The main purpose of the canopy is again to all the advantage of the sign, but you don't
To
have
make
that.
it good, yeah. So like a farmer's market thing, you gotta have,
Yeah, you gotta have
right? And especially because they're in the daytime, you got the sun and all this stuff.
sidewalks.
This is right. You festoon that canopy with your signs, like the big Prop 49 sign, or the club banner, or, you know, any kind of movie stuff, or whatever it is we're working on at the time. So, people that do the tabling thing, you have to consider setting it up, okay? Is there any other discussion about tabling?
Wait, I think you ought to get some commitments,
Okay,
if you can. Like, just 1 or 2 days at a time kind of thing, and you'll put them in the minutes so that we don't, just talking in the air, it tends to sound good.
I think you're right, Laura.
So,
I'm just merely making a point of.
Well, you know the rule here, you make the idea.
No, I can certainly help, but I cannot put that thing up on myself.
Good.
Right. Well, I think you, David, if you want to North Long Beach, or you said.
Well, North Long Beach, Uptown, that is on the first
Right.
Thursday.
Oh, you mean on another day?
So it's,
Okay, all right. All right, we can do that. Is there? Well, I don't think the west side, I don't think the west side we got very good for the election, so they need the election. But I think Columbia has had one, the west side is going to work for it. And luckily, they didn't stop and so there are a lot of things that Sunday, is there anybody that can set up the group? Who's going to volunteer for the Bixby Park, which is on Cherry and Broadway, Tuesday nights, farmers market, what are the hours for it? What hours do you start? What hours do you Three to 6:30. What do you guys think about that? Because Phil is willing to set the thing up and take the stuff over it, so everybody knows the staff can do it. Tuesday.
Right down here. It's not
It's Cherry and Broadway. It's down from Park.
oh, it's very hard.
Shannon and Will? Every Tuesday? Every Tuesday? You want to do one Tuesday a month? One Tuesday. There's only one a month. There's only one every month. Yeah.
No, it's not.
What do you want?
What do you want to do on Saturday?
I'll do it.
Yeah, but everyone or just one?
Everyone, oh, wonderful, 4 months.
Wow. Wow. All right, so.
I will want to help.
Okay, now, Shannon, so Shannon and Jared. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna ask you. You want me to send out reminders to everybody and drop that to the ones that do that? I can do that for you.
Please.
Thank you. Yes, Shannon.
Yes.
Every Tuesday. Just let us know what Tuesday we can do it. What is it?
Throw sets up.
What is what I started? Next Tuesday, which is the 9th. 3 o'clock. 3 to 6:30.
I'll figure this one out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, people come, they're very nice. I'm trying to get up the moment. Oh, no, okay.
You know, what really happens, and I'll tell you from my experience of setting up groups, is that somebody will say, yes. Because I know for myself, I think it's all ready to go. You should look at or that's not perfect. But that's easier. Look it out. And when you do say that, I don't know why, sometimes.
Four of us, second.
Oh, I was just gonna say
The
there's,
only time it works.
right here where we set up, there's a kind of, Latina that's not too
Well, I
tiny.
think
and she came home and said, there you go, I thought you.
The main thing is you have somebody come out of the garage.
So what we have so far, we have suggested right now, probably. But I suggested, like the show. But that would still be too big. So I don't know how.
What is it?
So then, if we don't, if we don't work, and if we don't, that, all we can do that, which is the Sunday with the well, only one or the other. Is this the Sunday you're starting?
That's not planned.
So starting that day, the next weekend, all right, do we have other, and if we have two, look at what we've done before, we have two children, and have them on, garage door, that may not be able to have enough, so, I mean, children's kind of get this, and they don't have that. Yeah, that was really nice. I think it'd be less crazy because we want less stuff. Why is this stuff in the table? It's about top 49, making issues, the public health, internet, we want to push, yes, these guys cannot do that. All right, so we have two regular tables every week. That's a lot. 8 a month, that's a lot. Yeah. So, I think that's yeah, that's anybody has any other children suggestions, thoughts? You know, I mean, I don't it's very close to.
When's the lowest fun?
When you see,
Lowest fun, that's given.
I don't know. I think that is already passed.
here, I'm familiar with that all the high schools live on the same day. That'd be the only problem. And I know we at Building Up Communities have already been contacted by the counselor at Reed High School who wants us to come. So she's looking for community groups to come during their back to school night. So I could definitely get you connected with them. And as for other schools that you're looking for, I haven't been approached by them, and each school varies in terms of their friendliness and their willingness to accept community groups during their back to school night. So that could be something there to help you.
Wow, that's great.
James, what is that school? What you are doing?
Reed High School. It's
Continuation high school, isn't it? Yeah.
Where is
so it's a
that?
smaller high school. It's
On the street.
It's the west side.
Yeah, I think it's the west side. Yes, it's the school that's next to Cabrillo on the
Okay,
same campus.
so by seeing this
Yeah.
is true, okay.
Yes.
It's small.
Yeah, it's like on the same campus. Yeah, but it's like a separate, it's a continuation school, so it's a smaller population. Yeah.
I
So,
just want to interject that I'm really glad you're videotaping your school because it's really hard to write all this stuff.
I got it all.
Yes, Phil.
What about Long City College?
Well, those places are, I mean, colleges, schools are great, but we have to find out if we're allowed to do that. And typically, like at Long Beach City College, I recall
lost
that we
it,
had a early registration group there in conjunction with some group at the school, in this case, the Democratic Club at Long Beach City College, invited us to table with them. And we're kind of like showing them how to do it. And that's really the only way to do it is to get on. So, you know, if you want to do it at school, I think that's good. We have to find out if we have to go through some sort of permission to do it.
Yeah, maybe play with some technology, so we can get some time to be in good there. So I was gonna add that a little bit later. And that's true, I mean, that we have to finish trip, so.
You're out of school and you're on a public sidewalk.
Right, but you have to have the permission. People have to know that you're there, or else the kids and the parents just walk right by. They think they're like someone or a brush or something.
Yeah, as I recall, we did do at Long Beach City College, we had flyers and stuff in the hallways on the campus saying we are going to have a voter registration group this day, this place, please come and see us. And the Democratic Club on the campus also conveyed that to their members, and we all handed out flyers and stuff too. So those are good ideas as far as the campus room is, but you have to have some student body on the campus helping to do clearly. So that's like the student body. All right, well, see now, just by talking now, like you suggested, we have a lot of possibilities to have some.
Good names.
Thank you, I like that. We're still 45 minutes on that. Okay, so I think that since Mr. Duvall is here now, we could take up the discussion that Stuart wanted to discuss some issues about the session. So I'm going to switch back to e-board meeting mode for a little bit here. Okay, so go ahead.
Okay. I do have some definite, definite questions and concerns about our treasury, and that I think it needs to be just a whole lot more transparent. 6 or 9 months ago, we were just plenty of money, and now we have very, very little money. And at the outset, I'll say I don't think there's anything sneaky or handed or anything like that going on, but I think we need more transparency and more communication. It's very hard for me. I realized you were sick when I wanted my reimbursement, but I waited day and day and day and finally, how many? A week.
Well, I mean, the process is what do you get into?
I followed the process. And at the meeting, I don't want this to be so personal, but at the meeting you said you would, it was you. You said you would bring me the check the next day. And I said, did you read your email? No. And I waited. It was a Thursday meeting. Friday, you were supposed to drop the check off. You didn't. I figured, okay, it's got a cold. It feel well. Okay. Saturday, Sunday, nothing. Finally, there was intercession. I don't want to get into the whole thing. And I received my reimbursement. I don't think it's the thing. that we, after meetings, we have all the financial information. And you were told it, and I didn't know you were ahead of
Has
time.
anybody else, I know anybody else experienced that outside of the meeting? I know Carolyn, I guess I did. So 2011 was called 2014, I had a and I called. Like you said, I was ill, and I didn't have the opportunity to go home and get blood tests after work. Like the work emails, and I apologize for that. So, relative to that, you have all this other information, that's not out in home. So, you're more than welcome to feel like Stuart. You're super reminded that you're going to your home, dropping it off in your mailbox. That would be, more so than a normal treasure would do. And, that's only for that much.
But is this, you waited for a week to submit it?
No.
No, between the time that.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, hold on, go ahead.
So when I think that the usually, it's usually an organization and it shows what our revenue is. Let me finish.
I'm not finished, go ahead.
Okay, but it also is where, I think the supplies and the input, shows where the money went to. So there's no question. And I think that he was trying to say we need that.
Well,
Go ahead. You said what was that now?
Yeah, okay. Transparency in that area, but what I'm basically saying is we need to be more, have everything open to everybody. Okay? And I even wrote a motion, I don't know if it's appropriate, but this is what my thought was. The club treasurer shall provide a full accounting on a regular basis for the account committee, defined as the first day of each month, including all deposits and withdrawals of all club funds. This accounting is to be in the form of an electronic spreadsheet or table, which lists all income and expenditures during the previous month, and shall include the names of those to whom checks are written and from whom deposits are received. The treasurer shall send a report in electronic form on the first of each month to the club committee. I think we need to have whoever the treasurer. That's not a personal issue.
Okay,
I think we have two issues. One is reporting issue. That's the last report. Work with that treasurer to have the spreadsheet that we have here. That's not the last report. So we want that. Or bank balance, another report. Or the debt level. That's one issue. You guys do it. The other issue. First, it's time limits of reverse. Now, I'm the one who spends most of the money. Right? Very good for stuff like this. The FCC requires it. It's not a matter of I reckon it's not the FCC, so it's it or maybe what I just don't think. So that's the two issues. One is important. That is no construction money. The order that's one. So hopefully that's resolved. Second issue is normally Joe and the treasurer has exactly and runs tax. So apparently that process didn't happen this time. Shouldn't have to wait at all. That might. Right? Well, meeting, general members meeting every month. Wait 30 days for reimbursement. I don't think it's necessary. And that's why the question. What was the my question is, what was your last time the time you spent report?
That is the question. The time was about 10 days to 2 weeks.
I asked for my question was, what was your last time?
By the time I received,
The guy submitted your question and the time you got to check. I mean, what was the time? 30 days, 90 days?
it's less than that.
Less than 30.
Yeah, I could look it up.
Is it less than 30?
Yes. But that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that I followed the instructions that you emailed to me, which were submit this to the volley to get reimbursed at the next meeting. Okay? And that was 2 days before, 2 days before the meeting. I agree. Wait a minute. I followed the instructions and I submitted the statement by email. When I asked him about it, he said, "Oh, I don't look at my personal email."
I rarely do it.
Rarely.
Okay, we have to move it. And I'm just trying to double check. I mean, I guess. So, I, Dennis, what you described, I've never seen another Democratic club that had that report.
No, people.
With keyboard, usually that would go to the customer. Just the people, doesn't we're not that either. No, I'm trying, I'm trying to double check. Yeah. I don't need to talk back to it. Trying to get my 2 cents. And to be honest, like this was trying to say, I would go to the public and I'm for 30 days at least. To be honest, a lot of the other clubs, if I was giving information, usually it ends up being back for IT. And so to get the negative, I would want to, not to say that anything the person should have, but from my previous experience with other clubs, not just. But now transparency, I could do that, but I think having a detailed report with everything and every single report, I've never seen that. Maybe something that would be good, but that would be a lot of work, especially because I know the amount of work that goes into the finance and everything else. Downside of every single report, like, for us. So, number 5 I actually very recently read the bylaws. And that's why I came in. But in the case, it does say that you said that I need member because certain public steps of public does with this one, yeah, good collaboration. So technically, a lot of 30 days to it does say that every it doesn't specify what
Well, our first question. Where's your comment on the Democratic Club, which always does that? I have to say this is interpreted as the balance is within the group. That's what it is, which we do. That is actually for the Ellen County Democratic Club. The information that must be said, that's the bylaws up for above ours. Okay? It's you, it's your bylaws.
Say that again. What is
Okay,
it?
the Ellen County Democratic.
I know, but
Which
what
is,
is it supposed to be?
we're supposed to convey in every monthly meeting our financial status relative to the balances of both accounts. That's not the debit credits, that's just the available balance that moment in time. That goes all the way to Ellen County Authority as well. And relative to statements, I did bring out that you wrote down, but I did, I had to do the work, so I did think something that I was required. But here's the answer. a Republican CFO. So, right. So what this is right here is our the expenses for our federal account. And relative to how many they are to actually graph is the information from the outdated data. We'll go back some time here. 1/5/2012. Okay, check number 1002 is right. That's the federal account to get balance. Okay, so this is the information I have to type out, I have to graph. Okay, target, long beach, card, California, nothing special. There it goes with the value. So actually that was 791. 2013, there it goes. Keep out part over Long Beach, California. 90815, general meeting. 488. That information. And it's 4092. Every time I write this information, I can type out. That's why I'm so restricted in relative to the points that you also fill out. This information I put on the finance step. I have to put all this information, any value. Well, now that we have actually device form, you guys are typing it in. If you're typing it on electronic form, that way I can paste this information. Yes, let's go back to the first check, which included the account from Costco, Roscoe, Police, Costco, them still from people, Costco, Staples, people. Staples, one piece of all purpose copies of one city. Two run block together. And the story here. Okay, now here is what I can say the really see. Okay. Give me the report you want to
Come on, guys.
I just want to give a little historical perspective. Things that happened. The first president we had brought 4 pieces of paper, not big old spreadsheets, small little paper, that were summary, but what they were is what he would send to our team treasurer to control. And the dirt, public and town, I mean, I don't know if you remember, but our treasurer went to jail. Okay? Durkee was also Senator Feinstein. So what happened was, in that period of time, we weren't getting any information. Didn't know what the formats were. Nobody could tell us anything. It was not going. We always gave what the bylaws required. So the court said, what's the bank? Right? Didn't have those people. We thought Alan was doing it. He wasn't. Now what has happened since that time, 60 years ago, it's doing these detail. I have no idea how to do that. You have to put the address, half the stuff you buy is on the website. You have to look up the physical address. We're on the street report. And it's FTC and state reports are so archaic that everything has to be typed in. And paste, and copy, and I actually my point is we've gone from one system to a jail treasurer to a system of filling down independent information to question time.
Okay, for instance, as Wilson said, the FEC is small as a state. There's no formal modifiable report. So it's a $11 a month form to PDF filing. So I can actually sit there and type in this information. And, you know, we were sitting in earlier, every time you know that it's wrong back from this book ever. Everything I've ever done, I've been copying that, I'm on a project, if you get that, I'm on a project. So I was able to pass a project, I never had time to do myself, and never been looking.
Okay, well, we have to talk about the solution, possible solution. I think when you were at a meeting, what you do Yeah. Every, we get a one piece of paper, single-sided sheet, every single month. The treasurer carries forward the balance that just like the simple formula, just like it really doesn't much what you think about one thirty what we have is like 400. Fund balance, total expenditures, money over here, savings account, with their, the income, that is it, what we expect, that's exactly it. All right, anyway. So what I'm going to offer is that you already do a lot of work, and you explain that to me before you share. If once a month, before the meeting, you can remember, every Monday or week, and you send me just those simple balances, I will be willing to give you a simple budget, single-sided, half-page that you month. I will.
Yeah, well, I mean, that information is actually with,
But I think people want to see it. Yeah.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying though, is just have access.
I'm not going to go online. I think people want to kind of get a half sheet that says the yes, we can get a I'm focusing. You don't have to, if you don't like the idea, it's fine, but I'm just going to write it up for you. Or for us. Because it's not that big a deal, but it is for you. But I'm never going to see it. Okay, I think that you have something.
That's when I found full reports would be, full report in March, I found report in March, it was July 1st to September 29th. Yeah, that's fine. But that report there, it means that it's a big Excel file, but it's, I have since 2011. So that information, I mean, everybody, see, that's why I wanted to put it out, pass it out to everybody. I mean, it has personal information on it, right? And the buying habits, those government utilizing research. But that, it does have some personal information on there, so if you did have to, that limit amongst the trust, for that can set up for it. Well, this one can vote on.
I think somebody needs to make a motion on what you suggested. Would you like to make a motion? Okay, we may not work now. That is also good. But, well, all right, I move that, Mr. Bowling is not to do everybody's show. So we do a quick summary of this, just like complete gibberish. And if necessary, I will send something to our okay, there's
I guess I don't know if we can amend it, but.
second, because nobody wants it.
Is there a second? Okay, is somebody wants to respond?
I'm just sure, I'm pretty sure, like I said, our financial service, but then running with the bank tax, because if you want on there, that is. So, for the new month.
So you said you want the, like, volunteer to go on?
Let me know, I can ask you, that's adequate. If that is correct, it's adequate. It would be the student to the paper, actually, it's 6 months.
Somebody should know something like you.
Or for the I'd like to say that, the report that I think,
simply have to leave us on. Transparency means you get to see what's happening. What someone else is doing. That makes it sense. It doesn't make it sense. So what he reports to the NBC is the actual document that's going to be on the website of the NBC. It's on there. Oh, you're right, it is. So it's public information. If you're involved with presenting money or donating money, one transparency, all the stuff we're talking about is there. What I suggest is that buy a copy of every student that we buy, and I have a report. Yeah, but that's not this report. That's a statement. It is the actual history behind it. Let's do what public record tells you. And then every month, because there is always that, how much money is no. Well, yes and no. The FEC filing with the federal government is much different than the state local claims. So with the state, I only have to put in you guys. But when I do FEC, it is this like for I have to put Taco Bell, 50 cents for every single thing. It was, and then the system, and then it's that it's not appropriate with the FEC, talking to contribute to your company, or you have a fundraiser with them. The FEC one is way more detailed. What percent? Ours, oh yeah, no, ours is important. Yeah, ours is probably like.
Okay, what about this option? We're going to read, I know. So, all right, so every month, this sends us, or gives us, either way, a copy of the stuff the summary of the Okay, then, what about if your report, your oral report, then you say, okay, we have $1,828, we spent $62 on cuts, we spent $80 savings, and then it's reflected in the minutes, because you don't spend that much money. It's like you have 100 things. No, you didn't. Yeah, so why couldn't you just orally say that to us? And it's in the minutes, so that we know we have that amount. I'm just on that. Document? Yeah. I did it. Okay, this is how much we do. Let's say the process. Okay,
It's already done. We have meetings with the balances from the month prior. But I get the balances from the we have to get the estimation of those two. Or the business is like business that it will take into account. If it's public records, every meeting we know what we spent based on who the senior and the values of the counselor. So last month I gave a daily report. And I think there's no special meeting. How much did I want to so from every meeting there is different values accounts. And then the following meeting I give the values that day, like I said.
Okay, so this has gone on a little bit way longer than we thought. So, you know, circulation, I did
3 minutes.
But wait,
But I think that's
okay, so 10 days following the filing would be the next 20 to 30 months. So for instance, I have from January 1st up until March 31st. So what we're saying, I have to have it in by April 10th. So then 10 days after that, then would be the first year of the so it'd be, I think that's good, that's perfect. Because we're actually going by the requirements of those people. And they both have the same deadline. So it will be 10 days after the final deadline.
But there is no discussion.
That's a good thing.
because when you were saying that, like, this is very balanced, really, yeah, but that is,
Yes, ma'am. I know they don't even the last time they $500 in the rate. With 400, so it's not just $9. But what they're saying is that it's actually from
yeah,
then I get the right.
just for the total, then we don't know how much is really now.
That's why it says it.
Yeah, call for the vote. Is there any more discussion? Okay, it's almost to be looked at. All right, did you have some? Well, this, I'm sorry, you're right. I think I said earlier, this is the fourth thing we did not have. In terms of voting, the keyboard first. Okay, so keyboard guys and go to the vote.
One discussion, please. I didn't know exactly what I'm getting on. So, this quarter report is going to be from the beginning. I got 40.
You should on that keyboard guys. Okay, so, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Okay, and anybody opposed? Okay? All right, cool. Now, let me just a breakdown, we come back and break. Oh, I'm sorry.
So the
The
first,
reason why we have to take a breakdown is we have a guest here tonight, James Father, wants to talk about Prop 47. So I don't want him to be around forever, okay? So let's take a 10-minute break, okay? Thanks, you guys. Stuart, are you okay with this?
Well, they had it. I was had it on the step. Not you, so we tried to get together. I don't like leaving it. I don't do that. It's like, I don't know, I don't do it. I don't want the stuff. So I always go on, get my stuff.
You want to do that? Yeah, because a lot of people are great.
I don't know how anybody's gonna do it.
I didn't go through all of it.
If you're in the military, and anybody acts like somebody's supposed to tonight, they're taking out back from the job.
Colonel, after that, I complained to him about something.
Well,
And then the court told me to crap out. My legal clerk is in charge of this room. He says, you do this, you do that. I don't care what rank you are. There, no good, what he said. It's like one kind of court martial. Two court martials. And say, Lord, each court martial is very important. Well, they think they said, oh, well, we sworn into the first trial. They're not going to do it this way. And I said, I'm out of here then because I am not taking minutes. Because it's illegal. You must swear to the board in front of the accused. And this was a different accused. So we called the colonel, we can stomp it in there. Stomp it. He was a big guy. 6'4".
This is easy.
And then they told the colonel who's in charge of the board, was the president of the board, he was to do what I told him to do. They were a little pissed at me, but 44 on the zero.
How about trying to run over there?
So let me see if I can find another, okay. So I'm gonna ask someone.
Well, I think it's, compared to the one one, I don't think it's because it's really difficult to sound.
It's right there on the side of the picture.
It's true, it
Where's Benny? It's right, baby. Oh, nice.
All right. Problem solved. About 5 years, one goal. Yeah, I know, that's quite shocking, you know, this never happened. I have one on my back porch that I have on all night long, every night. It takes like 3.5, 4 years before it gets.
Mine did.
I have one on my front porch, but that's one out of here. Oh, it's a problem. I had to put another bulb in there to see if the outlet works. Yes. Wait a minute, how come the bulbs go out in a year? Okay, so well, there's 8:10. That's my bedtime. Oh, Dee though. I mean, we're so much earlier. Oh, yeah, it's having a
yeah.
Watching the clock. I don't need an alarm. I get up at 5. So I 3 hours. I get the clock.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah.
I gotta get up at 5 to go to work. I don't wake up fully. I stumble to the bathroom. I stumble back in. I'm not really fully awake. So like I said, once I lay back down, I'll go. It's not REM sleep. REM sleep is like 8 till 9. Oh, I'm actually only getting 6 hours.
Go to bed at 9.
I'll get up at 5. Yeah, old people need sleep, Chris. Go find out when you get old. When I was in the Army, there were nights I could stay up all night and get back to the barracks and talk for the morning. Fall out in the morning formation. Long enough to get dressed, fall back out for morning formation. After formation, I couldn't even remember. I knew I was there. That's why I take it. I take summer and special program. It weren't that. We had another lady that was a general. General was on how to do the data testimony. A special program was only summer. So it's easy for me to take minutes and summarize and pulling out the important points. But there's so much different special going on. It's hard to pull out all the points. Get back to the meeting and wrap this up. You guys. The obedient truth will fall. One of those things that goes, that was easy. That was easy. You need an easy button. I got an easy button. I have a button that's easy. Yeah. Press it. Oh, I like that. It does it say that? Yeah. In different languages and different, that's funny.
I'll have to get you one of those.
It might be cool.
I have one on my desk.
Okay, everybody. Go back in. Go back in, you guys.
Meeting is starting!
We're neighbors. That's awesome. That's so awesome. We have coffee for all today.
Okay.
Alright. So,
Actually, they.
we are going to move to, we have a guest tonight, James Swato. Okay, James, would you like to introduce yourself to our group, please?
Sure.
Yeah, we're not on the agenda. That's.
He's not on the agenda, he should be.
Oh, well, that's because.
That's my fault, I emailed him this morning, so that's, yeah, you blame me for that, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So,
No worries.
hello everyone, or good evening, I mean, I've been working all day, so, my name is, dark out, it must be evening. My name is James Swazo, and I'm the health coordinator for Building Healthy Communities, Long Beach. So if you're unfamiliar with BHC, what we are a nonprofit funded by the California Endowment. And what we do is we support community organizing work here in our focus area of Central and West Long Beach. We do have a couple other projects that we're working with in other parts of the city, particularly North Long Beach. So we have some participatory budgeting project that we're working on. If we have to talk about that later. But so we do supporting a lot of organizing around the idea that health happens here, right? And it's not the idea of health just happens with healthcare and health prevention, but also that health happens in neighborhoods, in schools, when we have parents and families and that are engaged and active in their communities. So that's what we focus a lot of our work on. And to do a lot of that organizing, we have 5 work groups that we focus on in very specific areas. And one of our work groups has taken on a new initiative on Prop 47. So our community safety work group, which is formed in response to the city's violence prevention plan, has now decided to work with its members, coalitions, and residents in forming a committee to support Proposition 47. So I have some information, and I'll talk a little bit about that I wanted to pass out to you because not only just by show of hands have heard of Prop 47 before, it's completely fine if you haven't. That's one of the reasons why we're here. So I'm going to pass this around. You can grab one, take one. Actually, I need one, so. So, what Proposition 47 is in a nutshell is an initiative on the November ballot that reclassifies 6 low-level felonies as misdemeanors. So, yeah, so I'll get a little into detail about that, but the big pitch that we want people to stick with is the 3 R's. So this initiative reclassifies those low-level, non-violent crimes. And you'll notice the first bullet on this page that we're passing out details what those are. So I won't go over them right now. You can have that in your paper. Oh yeah, I can read them really quick. So just so so the 6 of them are the petty theft less than $950, receiving stolen property less than $950, writing bad checks less than $950, forgery less than $950, shoplifting less than $950, and certain drug possession offenses. So the first R that we're talking about is that reclassifying. The second is the redirects. So we're taking the money that we're saving from the reclassification and redirecting that to K-12 schools and mental health services. And the last R is this is retroactive. So what that means is even people in the prisons right now would be able to get their cases reviewed by a judge. And everyone, some people kind of think this, if this passes, people will just be let out of jail. It goes through the court system. So every case has to be reviewed by a judge. And once they are deemed no longer a threat to society, then they are. So that's the way this works. So it's the 3 R's that I highlighted up here. So reclassify, redirect, and retroactive. So what does that mean? And that's one of the big things we want to emphasize is the last bullet on here. It reduces the collateral consequences of felony convictions for low-level crime. And that's a huge issue. Because that instantly means I've seen projections of anywhere from 250,000 to 1 million people that are estimated in California will now be able to receive housing, receive government services, be able to apply for jobs that they never actually could to before because they had to check the box on an application saying you had a felony. Even if they just lived in poverty so they had to write a bad check, if they made poor decisions when they were young, they now have all these windows of opportunities.
State's constitutional rights.
Yes, yeah. So exactly. So a lot of people are really pushing this as a way to stop mass incarceration, to really redirect a lot of the funding that we're doing towards prisons and reinvest those into young people, into adults who have made bad choices in their lives. And I will mention, you can read through this, there's obviously much more information, but we really do want to emphasize that even though you may hear some stuff out there from the opposition about certain what this act may do, if people are convicted of they're sex offenders or they have past violent histories, they are not released. And like I mentioned, every case gets reviewed by a judge. There has been some concern around some victim rights organizations because now under this initiative, if somebody possesses things like a date rape drug, currently right now, if you are caught in possession of a date rape drug, then that would be considered a felony. What would happen under this is if you were caught with it, just you having it yourself, that would be reclassified as a misdemeanor. But once you put to the act of using it on somebody, giving it to somebody, then that is still a felony. That is not true.
Yes. Do you want to take some questions?
Yeah, I can take some. The last part I want to mention really quick is just about what we're doing here locally. That's one of the reasons why we're here. So Building Healthy Communities is our community safety work group is leading the effort called BHCLD, yes, on 47. And these are our 3 goals on the bottom. Obviously, we want to pass this proposition. We want to engage low-income and underserved communities in civic engagement and create more of a voting culture among youth. And also, we want to educate our community and really rethink the discussion around violence. And not only in just what violence is, but also in budgeting, in prevention, and then investing in that. Because that's one of the things we're really trying to do along is recreate this narrative. And so how it affects our young people and all of that. So do we have a website on the bottom? The endowment is very supportive of this as well. Sorry, they have a big campaign you can see on the graphic about investing in do the math and investing in young people and not prison. So there's a website you can find more information and I will talk more about other opportunities. So I'll take questions.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'd like to say that there were about 6 Yes We Can members that immediately Maryville actually presented this, and other people spoke to it. And so when we had our takeaway on Labor Day, we had some flyers about this, and there was a lot of interest. And just as I was explaining it to some people, I would notice other people going, oh, that sounds good, and they would come up to get the flyer. And there are a lot of people who have been affected by this. They know someone who has a felony on the record, and they're forced to check that box every time. Right? They don't get the job, they don't get the housing. It's just stupid, and it's partly because of our private prison system that we pass all these stuff on crime law. So we just put everybody in prison, and the most telling thing is to the bottom. 62,000 to send somebody to prison, 9,000.
There's a really cool video if you go on our website. It's only a minute long. It's explaining that.
Thank you very much.
These people are very receptive to it. Very receptive.
So, okay, on item here, it says redirects $100 million from prison spending to assault and treatment. So we have the, prisons is a different department than education. How do they do the analysis and say this is a savings from this Prop 47, and this will directly be appropriated to education? How do they analyze that?
I don't know the exact specifics, but from my understanding, it's the savings because we're not having people incarcerated.
No, exactly. But there has to be a direct savings. Like, for instance, this person didn't go to jail because of Prop 47. We're not paying you the $62,300. We have a savings of $62,300, and then in the actual budget for prisons, we're at $62,300 now going to education. Well, how do they analyze that?
Here's what I think. I don't know 100%, but number one, I think it's when you don't say, it's not that you don't send some future person, but you take the people who are there now and you reclassify them. That saves you literal money right there because you send them out.
Yeah, that money is
right.
Yeah, for that I have to read the exact language. You can allow us not a training book for longest. I'm here on behalf of the campaign, but I would definitely, if I could find out and let you know.
So what I read was, because this was the second part of what I was going to say, is that Governor Brown has been mandated to reduce the number of prisoners in our prison system. And so he is, what I read on something, I can't remember where I read it on now, just this last week, but I didn't really know what Proposition 47 was, so now I know. But anyway, because he has to do it, and because he's interested in doing it, he is committed to savings that would go into the education funds. And so I think that, I mean, I don't know that it's a slam dunk, but I think that that's already what has been suggested, because he has to do it anyway, and he's going to do it. That's what I got.
And just to piggyback on that a little bit, one of the things we're hoping is that this has been a larger, this whole, prison reform and sentencing has been a larger effort. And we've been, the organizers behind it have been trying to get the legislature for a number of years, but the legislature will not move on this because they don't feel there's strong public opinion about this. And so far, this has been going very successfully, but the opposition is mounting and raising money. So we're hoping that once this can get passed, then the legislation will then take matters a little further and then start making some more comments. I was going to throw it back, but if you go onto our website, there's a link to the proposal, and you'll be able to find it.
Okay. I work in addiction medicine, so I'm hoping some of this money is going to that. It's not just money yet. There's a major crossover.
Yeah.
There's a major comorbidity. But I also have another bone of contention with it. I've been working in addiction for more than 20 years. I have yet to have anybody come up to me and say, I'm abusing lithium. That I'm abusing lithium. Roofies, that's the gateway drug.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
I can't think of any reason to possess it unless one intends to use it or sell it to somebody. And I don't think that there should be an exception provided in possession of that drug.
Yeah. I can't speak to the intent of it, but that has been one point of contention, because we're talking about the idea of low-level drug possession. So, it's again, it's the
not low level.
yeah, and that's ridiculous because the victims, yeah. So, yeah,
it is a downer. I mean, and there are plenty of downers out there that people use, and certainly people are being over-sedated and that kind of thing, but I just can't.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, once it's this, the part that doesn't change is once somebody uses those drugs on somebody or anything like that, that is still a felony. That does not change.
So I just think possession of it.
My question might come up is that there are transport programs to make sure that education is provided or is going to happen in relationship to these people. Like, in other words, that we're targeting the same population who might go to prison or asking good programs that we would educate.
Yes.
That's something that I'm just wondering how to answer that question.
Yeah, well, I can tell you a lot of our partners that we're actually doing this work with are groups that focus on the anti-services, the new way of life. All of us are on the coalitions that focus on rehabilitating people once they're out of prison and reorienting them into society. Because it's the whole issue of job training and then making sure they have the services in homes and things like that. So, and there's a lot of money that have been recently opened up for
Because the voter is going to want to know what steps are being taken to prevention, under these circumstances.
Yeah.
We're wasting money in prisons. What are we doing?
Now, that really quick, somebody else had raised that issue too. It's like, okay, I feel like if we pass this, then people, instantly the next day come out of jail. But that's not the case, because you have to remember that this, even if they are eligible, they still have to go through the court system, and I don't need to go to court to jail on that. So there is, a lot of work to be done on that on both ends.
Yeah.
We just have a comment. I was listening to an interview today on TV, and there's a man who was sentenced to life in prison possession. Wow. Now, that could have said pounds of it might be that, but life in prison was very, So, James, what's in the Yes You Can Club review?
So we are, like I mentioned, we're a coalition of organizations. So we have groups ranging from reentry groups, My Girls in Action, a lot of helpline youth counseling. All of us are working together to lead this Long Beach effort, not only in education, but also getting people registered, and also, of course, canvassing and funding. So if you're familiar with Long Beach Rising, which is one of the committees of the Long Beach Coalition for Youth Talent and Healthy Community, they're the group that led the spearhead effort on Measure N, which is the living wage initiative. So they're coming back this November cycle. That way they can help us with our canvassing efforts and they'll be leading a lot of that. So basically, every Saturday in October and a couple other days, we'll be out there walking the neighborhoods. And we have a lot of other organizations that are doing targeted efforts to their bases. So we would love for members of the club, if you want to get involved and help us with tabling and education, because a lot of this is not only getting up the vote and mobilization, but education. So, and as the hub for building up communities, we're helping facilitate all these resources.
So since we are doing live tabling, maybe we could, share this information at our booth.
Absolutely.
Or you
I'd be
can
happy
have
to
a rep
provide
there.
you. Yeah, and I'd be happy to get connected with the group and then provide you the links for that.
So you stay in contact with us, since I'm the tabling, one of the tabling coordinators, I'd be happy to do that. You guys think that is worthy.
Absolutely.
Okay. Is there anybody that thinks this is not a good
We
thing?
need flyers.
We need to endorse it.
And the Democratic Party has endorsed this.
So,
They're right. That's our club, support what this man does when we agree with him.
so should we make a motion, try to take a motion that, we want to endorse this?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a motion. Okay, but can you do that? Can you please do that?
I move that, yours is
Support.
support,
Support is a better word, I think.
support the campaign for Constitution 47.
I'll second that. I want to do that.
Perfect.
You get to vote for it. Okay, so let's take a vote. All those in favor? say aye.
Aye.
Yes, that's the general membership, that's everybody. I'm sorry, is there discussion? Yeah. So let's take a vote on it. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
And
Any, are you opposed? Okay.
Is the California Endowment is behind this, there must be a statewide group, some of the questions that people here had about today, there might be some answers
Yes.
on that website.
Yeah, so if you go to our website, so I don't know the full statewide campaign, there's a link to their statewide campaign site. And they have all the stuff information there that you can look up. Locally, I don't know if people are familiar, the group that's setting up the Southern California region for this effort is the Community Coalition, COCO, based in South LA. And we're kind of figuring on this one. So there's a number of groups that are leading some, but there is a statewide.
and the statewide address is safetyofschools.com. Safetyofschools.com.
Okay, well, thank you. Very good.
Thank you.
And I'd be happy to, if you go on the website, you can find my contact information. I give out my email right now as well. It's really simple. So my email is james, at bhclongbeach.org, which is our website. If you have any questions, we're really trying to do a lot to educate people in any kind of avenue or outlet about the proposition, and we'd love to, if I can't come out, have one of our community residents come out and talk about it.
That's spelled comments, right?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank
everyone.
you.
Really good.
Okay, so we're supposed to be having some community reports going on. I'm going to try to keep it super short. Laurel, would you like to talk about the community play? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. I'll be brief. I'm 4 minutes unless there's other discussion. I just do want to make a point though, before I start, that we talked about, our mission and our 4 objectives and our 4 committees. And so just to make the relationship on our agenda, tabling Labor Day, tabling in general, go with our objective 4, which is tabling. So we are not like talking about weird things on our agenda. MOVI report and pay-to-pay event are both under MOVI, which is voters in, voters money out, voters in, money out, objective 2. And then the bylaws we're going to talk about are the mission statement. Endorsements by Bridget have to do with objective number 1. So for those of you who are new people, we are talking about what our club is about. Yeah. And that needs to be put on our agenda, or I think it should be put on our agendas to point out that these things are related. Because when I first came into this group, I wasn't sure what was going on, but that's because I'm kind of new now. I now know.
Now I'm really worried.
Now,
We're the lifeboat.
Just really quickly, we had a meeting over a week ago. We have 4 members on the committee, including myself. This is our tentative plan for Pay to Play. Pay to Play is a movie put out by Hollywood, and you know, that's a guy named John Ennis wrote it. It was actually, if you go online at Pay to Play, use the number 2, not T-O, if you want to look it up. And there's this trailer there. And it just hit the streets like this last weekend. And it's actually all about money in big time. And some of us who went to the April 28th roadshow for Moby, Dagmar was there and I was there, Peggy was there, Cindy was there. Were you there? No. Okay. But there were several of us who stayed. We saw the whole thing. And it is a remarkable movie. It's about an hour and a half, full-length movie. And it's a documentary, and it's like legitimate in the movies kind of thing. So we have availability, and Cindy has helped remarkably on this, to be able to get this video, get posters, get postcards to send to people, and we just plan to have a screening of this for our community. So, I mean, it's just a matter of organizing it because it's really a win-win. So, the information that you need to hear is that we are looking at October 16th or 17th. We don't know for sure. We'll give you all the information when it's finalized. But we have to work with at Cal State Long Beach, which is where we want to show it, and I'll explain that in a bit more in a second. We have to work with a student group to get us into the University of Theater, which holds about 300 people. And we had a little trouble getting in touch with that person. Peggy is the person who's looking at that. But she now has another avenue, another contact. And so our goal is to do the 16th or 17th, that's our Thursday or Friday night. We hope for Thursday, actually, because we want to get students there, and a lot of the students don't. The doors will open at 6:45. We will have, at 7, we'll have a welcome. Cindy has already worked on getting us 2 big names in this, like maybe the movie producer or Holly or some of the people who put money from Hollywood who will come to this. We will introduce them. We will talk about the purpose of it. We'll do a little call to action. We'll screen the movie from 7:15 to 8:45, then from 8:45 to 9:15 to have a wrap-up, and it will be led by one of our bigwigs. And then people will go out into the night all fired up to get money out of politics. That's October. But that's a tentative date because we have to get the students to work with us, and we haven't been able to contact the person in charge. We want to work with the Student Den Club on campus, and that's run by a person in Abigail. Yes, so that's new as soon as we get the person who tells us. And then yes, we will advertise. Well, hold it. I'm getting my report, and I'm about 2 minutes from finishing. So, the issue is that, first of all, it's to set the venue. We also considered Hill Middle School, which is another possibility, which I checked with the Long Beach Public School District, found out what we would have to pay for renting that. It is possible. It's just a little bit more off-site. We don't think it's quite as good as Cal State Long Beach. It's about $200 to rent that for the evening. The University Theater is about $175, plus we have to pay for, we're not sure how many hours we have to pay for an additional custodian, so that's probably another $50 for that. The Art Theater, we also are considering if this other thing falls through, but that is also about, I think that's $400. So, but still, it's a good venue. But
It won't donate?
Well, we haven't gone that far because we think that if we had got to choose, and I mean, you keep me honest here, make sure I have all the details, but if you had to choose, we think the University Theater is the best because it would go to all the faculty and staff. It would have an email of about, I don't know, I forgot what Katie said, something like 10,000 people or something. as well as all the students in the Democratic Club, as well as our committee, our members in our. So anyway, we have to charge to pay back because we also have to pay Moby $175 to get a copy of the DVD. We have to we get the license to show it because if it's a Hollywood movie. We get posters. We get report cards. Oh, let me finish. Hold your thought. I want to hear it. So and that is standard. That's what Moby's doing now. That would be charged to every group who tried to show it on the street. So 175 and 225 plus we think we might want to serve coffee outside. We need $450. And so that is part of what I'm going to ask this group to do. I have no idea if we have that amount of money because we didn't hear that, but we don't have $450.
You look at the pair 22.
Can I just?
Well,
I'm not putting
318.65.
Okay, we're going to have to figure out how to do it. We'll have to just maybe write some checks to get paid back. But anyway, I'm just telling you what we've done so far. So we are going to charge people to come to this. We're going to charge students and seniors $3 a ticket. We're going to charge faculty and staff $4, and we're going to charge the general public $5. And we did a rough estimate of the number of people we think might come. We think, based on what's out there, we could get 150 people. And if so, we could make back all of our money. The only other issue is that it does cost $5 to park on the campus. So that would be an initial event of people to come.
Can I suggest something?
Well, can I just finish my report?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, and then you can suggest. Okay, and we will have the movie speaker. We'll have we're going to have a table of register to vote out in front. And we want to use Eventbrite for reservations. We're going to ask Stuart. And and we also want a video. And also we thought as people get checked in and they pay their money, I don't know if you guys have heard of the Stampede program where you get a stamp and you stamp money. People are stamping money around the world saying, don't use this for rotten politicians and stuff like that, dollar bills. Perfectly legal, done by Ben & Jerry's or Ben & Jerry. So I actually got one of these myself. It says stamp money out of politics, and so I brought it just kind of as a visual. So we thought that we'd have 2 or 3 of these, and as people come in, your ticket to get in is to have your hand stamped. And now, questions, comments, looks like there's some people who don't have. But, okay. If you want, and please, I invite you to be on the committee, because we spent 2 hours talking
I
about
have
this.
a lot of experience getting licenses
Okay,
for short films.
okay,
Because I've been film center for why doesn't gone through the experience. The solution to that is the percentage of what you take in the door. You donate a percentage to the Hollywood.
well, let me tell you what,
Hollywood people should understand. I just got an estimate from the source for a very important film that was part of a Walkman for the $75 for a feature film.
okay, and the only thing I'd say to you is, let me tell you why I'm not trying to counter you or set you down, or shut you down, but Moby's trying to make money too, because they have a national event, and so they've set a fee of $175, and I have talked to Cindy about it, and I don't think there's any getting around. Okay, so but we will pursue that, and I want to get some more information afterwards because that could be. See, we don't
The
have.
question is what part of it obviously has to go to the source, of the film, the distributor of the film. I'm saying that is something that is absolutely negotiable, and I really
Okay, I'm absolutely going to get your phone number, and we'll talk about it afterwards. Okay, Kath? Yes.
All right, look, the reality is we got $300 10 people show up this movie this group. All right? I think that if nobody wants to make money, let nobody make money. They want our help.
They want
to help staff it, on the site, let them take the risk. We're not in the business. We're not in the business right now. And I speak to you, we're not having money.
Okay, well, I guess what I'm going to do is withdraw. I'll go back to the committee, but I will withdraw my request to ask for any money for this. And that our committee already discussed the willingness to each contribute $100 or whatever to see how it works out because we think it's important. And then we would get our money back. But do you still want the Yes We Can Fund to be endorsing this, or do you just want us to be all out on our own? Is the question.
the issue, the point is, we cannot ignore it.
I understand.
Yeah.
I
The
understand.
individuals of the club, we can talk about the underwrite. I would certainly not have a problem endorsing the bank, but supporting it.
Okay, great. Yes.
So I have a question. If we have articulated events, can we ask people for donations
Yes.
towards them?
Yes, and we were gonna have, just like we had in our debate, and the debate was very controversial at the beginning, and we had to spend a bunch of money on the debate, and we ended up getting all of it back plus $500. But we did, have little cans out and say, can you donate, and we were gonna do the same thing. We did have a bunch of people coming up with that. No, right, I was at that table, and she was barely letting people get by without doing it. But anyway, that's our idea. So I guess what we need now is, I mean, I'll have to go back to the committee and see if people are willing to come up with $100 for 2 months and let it be out there, but, if not, we can't do it. But if we are, and I think we are, based on what we talked about, then should we proceed? Do you want to support it? I'm getting, this is kind of weird. I thought it was kind of a slam dunk, but it's okay.
Students have money. I know it sounds weird, but student organizations have money. So if it's a partnership, the students have
We could ask them.
they could contribute for the venue. And that's what they do all the time. They can
That's a
do
good
all
point.
that without having a venue.
Right. They would have to be paid back
They
as well.
can work from inside university. So they
No, so they have to be paid back.
They'd have to be paid back.
Not necessarily, they might make a donation to this.
They might make a donation. In other words, they may have a
Well,
budget.
I mean, that, let me just say that piece, asking them to support and getting their money and how no produce their food, that adds a whole layer. There are 4 of us doing this for the club and for Moby and for Pay to Play. And so we have to be realistic about what we're able to do.
If you're in the back,
And
you're not dealing with anybody.
I'm just saying that, I'm saying, we're going to figure it out, I'll go back to the committee, we'll figure it out, but I think we want to simplify. And so, if they want to support the people, we'll certainly try, but, anyway, yes.
So as a student organization, we have access to
Long Beach
student
Democratic
resources
School, Long Beach,
or
yeah.
any
student-
organization. Right? So they will have access to university vehicles, to university venues, and then it is free.
It's $175 plus
For us,
40.
right?
It's $175 for Joe Blow to
Even
rent
if-
University Theater.
Even the registered clubs of university.
Yeah, it's cheaper for students, that's why it's cheaper for students.
Well, it's $175 for the students.
For the students, I think
And it's already,
for us.
yeah, thank you, yeah, it's like $300 for Joe Blow.
So, I would talk to
Wait,
students.
Susan, you want to say something?
Just tonight, I think it's a great idea to have anything. But if all else fails, first congregation might not good.
Who's first congregation?
They've never really had this problem.
No, they charge us a lot. They charge us.
Because when I asked them about.
No, it was 500, 375. 375, yeah. And then Hill Middle School, see, these are all about equal, because Hill Middle School, you're thinking, well, it's public school, no, they charge for their venues as well, because they're poor like everybody, so it's $49 an hour minimum, 4 hours. So that's $196. Yes.
That's it.
And, relative to like Christmas, congregation, like the Christmas season, actually. Let's look at this from a marketing demographic perspective. Is wherever the venue is, like an include a facility, especially most of the surrounding people that are actually going to attend it. Whereas, look at what we had in Wellington too, the debate we had, the only debate, and the people that were there, and that, made us more applicable to some of these things.
And not the $5 parking, we don't like that either, but that's what we have to
No one
pay.
cares about it.
And if people carpool, if we explain, that sort of thing, that I can say to you, this, you go to the movie on a Saturday and you spend $10. And so if you were willing to spend $8 or $9 to see this movie, we would try to figure out if people would be willing to do it. I have to say that all over Los Angeles, all over the nation. People are willing to do this. This is a movie that just came out. It's hot off the presses, and it is really getting a lot of good press. And people are willing to go and pay $8 to $10 to go. So that's what we were kind of going.
Well, yeah, is it a general release or limited release?
It's limited because well, let me say it's controlled. It's not going to be in every single theater. Yeah. But there is, in Los Angeles, on the 18th, let me say that the show, Southern California showing, only one, is from September 12th to September 18th at the Laemmle North Hollywood.
That's the only place?
It's the only place that the national movie folks are doing.
Well, wait a minute. My question is in release, limited or general? It's a certain movie release. Do we know if it's playing along?
No, it's not playing in any general movie release right now. It's not going to play in any
Well, it's important to know that because if we're doing this and all of a sudden it's 4 Cineplexes around us.
No. It's not, Chris, that's not what they're asking people to do. Right, I get it, totally, you're right. But it's not going to go to the art theater or to the UA over there, probably till next spring. Right now, this is like the hot off the presses thing, right? This is like an effort for Modi to promote this whole thing. And I just want to say, I would be a little bit more reluctant had I not seen the movie, but I think it's worth seeing. And it's...
My second point, the 4 of them doing great work.
Yeah, okay,
But-
sure. Go
But,
ahead.
we need to get someone from the educational institution, maybe faculty members.
Peggy is, Chris. Well, Peggy works. Peggy is the person, she works in the theology department there. That's why she's the person on the committee. That's really important.
We need to get some of the student organizations.
They are. I didn't make that clear, I'm sorry. I've been a little testy.
You said somebody
I apologize.
you couldn't get a hold of.
Well, we haven't been able to get the main contact. We were hoping who is the new president of the Long Beach Student Band Club. Because she just started class and she's busy. Her name is Abigail.
Yeah.
She's not responding to Peggy's emails.
I'll call her. She's on my check.
Okay, well, no, and everybody knows that. She's just really busy.
Okay, fine.
I think that's probably good. Thank you.
Okay, well, so, but I guess all I want to say then is, number one, we have to pay for it ourselves, and number two, you want us to go ahead. Is that correct?
I do.
I second
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
I just think that, the realization that we only have less than 200 bucks in the bank.
I'm shocked. I thought I had $900, but oh well.
9 months ago.
I would suggest I get one.
Something going in.
Last one, raise money and stuff. It's like,
Oh, yeah, we're,
This is our first
Okay, so we're gonna
That's
move
great.
what?
Okay,
I was wondering about.
yes.
Yes, timing. We're not gonna talk about all the future reports. No,
Let me get your number.
Dagmar has something to say about the bylaws. We're gonna get that on the agenda, so Dagmar, you have the floor.
Okay, make this go faster. You have a committee to be reviewing the bylaws, and then suggestions for changes will be brought to a full meeting. But at the present time, we have 4 members on the committee: Carol, myself, Eileen, and Peggy Rosales. And the next meeting is on the 18th at my house, and anyone who is interested in joining that committee, be free to join, or if you already have ideas about what you would like to see changed, if anything, or what you want to keep in the bylaws, forward it. Right? Okay, good.
Okay, cool. Please go ahead.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, the election is coming up. And what are the ones that
I was just thinking that I'm gonna send an email out to the resolution tonight after this. And what I want to do is I think with Jose and Michelle, because Michelle is a chief deputy. And come to that meeting, I'm gonna set up for next Thursday. I'm sorry, but did you go to the report?
Yes.
I won't be here, and I'm close to technology on my own, but well, the concern was having to open up the office as, we had heard that this country, my office in Long Beach. Which fellow's name is Chris? The fellow who's the Democratic Party, Thursday, that beautiful summer. The thing that was on office in Long Beach is going to be for this. And I think more people will volunteer. We know that they can go to the local office, possibly if you try to sharing
Just want to say that we didn't have a red to blue on the agenda because. Right, so we're gonna skip over that and we're gonna go right to endorsements, please. Bridget.
You haven't had endorsement in the summer, typically, for him, but that's the problem. The last time that we had met, we actually were, everybody had sent me their notes, as far as what our questionnaire was going to be. So that's what our focus of our next meeting is going to be. If anybody would like to be on the endorsement committee, I didn't plan on doing this, but since it's already September, I'd like to make a motion that we endorse Jose Samario.
Can I ask you a question? Who was on your committee?
We have Shanna, Rosen, and then
Okay, so you have people.
I got, yeah.
Okay, I just wasn't sure if you had people on your committee.
Yeah, I have enough people. No, that's good. I'm always, yeah, I'll by myself. No, I'm always going to have people. That's why I asked.
And when do you plan on having your meeting?
I'm going to send out an email and see what everybody sees.
Okay. Eileen, what process do you follow to endorse somebody? What is the process you go through to somebody to do that?
Well, that's what we're doing, and that's why we have the committee right now.
We have a process in the bylaws.
We have an endorsement process in the bylaws that we went through. That's what our first 2 meetings were about. We actually did a procedure, and then we did a change to the bylaws. What we're doing right now is actual questionnaire that we're going to use to go through our endorsement process
For the committee.
for the candidate.
Questionnaires for
It's already
Correct.
Point of order, there is a motion on the floor.
I'll second it.
Since it's already September and we don't have our formal questionnaire in place yet to get to Jose Samario, as endorsement here, I would like to move that we endorse Jose Samario for district and for state senate.
Democrat.
I'll second
Democrat.
that. Is he the only Democrat?
Yes.
He won the primary.
He won the primary, he's the only Democrat that's running, and he needs all the help that we can get, and I would actually like to possibly put, that's not part of the, but I would stick to the thing, but
He's former Democratic Assemblyman in the state
He's the
legislature.
Democratic Party now, the vote candidate.
So can we have discussion? Are we discussing it right now? Okay, so discussion, yes.
So that, I mean, other than reading this, it's what stuff and I sometimes very interested in environment, there's a whole lot of that. I live in the local, very local. I cultivate conservation for this marketplace. They are very interested in doing something. The Democratic candidate is now.
There is no.
Well, I mean, the Democratic.
No, there's no. This is a new seat in the 2010.
It's a very.
It's a rearrangement.
Well,
34, we
correct.
have no state senator right now.
Bruce Correa? That's what he's.
With all these things, no one seat right now. There's no
But
senator.
as Madison put it on the Republican opponent, is
Yes.
Okay, I have some discussion about this too. Since we don't have any money, and since, when we support somebody, when we endorse somebody, we generally have some money that we're going to give to this guy, or, have a fundraiser, or do something that involves like donation in kind. And I'm concerned that, we can't do that. How do we want, how would we, support, Mr. Swario?
Irving Democratic Club, which I come from, we actually never did anything at all to any candidates. We donated our time and our effort and got out to vote. And I think that's a lot more actually valuable than giving $100. And we show up especially, he is somebody that the Democratic Party, the state Democratic Party, said we need him to hold and maintain the Senate. So it is very important. It's very important. Yes.
Okay, the precedent for the Democratic vote, we have to give money to candidates, no money, but we'll lose on the ground, or come back to candidates. This way they no money to be taken about, we gave no money to John McGinnis. Okay, we gave no money to Salvador Sitter. Any words for it. Okay. So I think that because this is a great point, obviously, I think you're concerned, I think, that we'd like to have a more detailed process with a vetting questionnaire and reading picture of the environmentals. It would be nice to do all that. It's now before. I think that on an emergency basis, I have another candidate I want to talk about it separately. I think we should take on an exception basis. We cherry pick. We don't endorse everybody at all federal level. We don't endorse everybody at the state constitutional level. We have asked. We have to start putting this again our resources. So that's smart. We need to support. What? Yeah. As those of us who were at the longest Democratic election fiasco picnic on the 19th of July, 2 months ago, we wrote to state officials, and a couple of others. And yeah, basically, the obvious said, but the majority, two-thirds majority change, which would set back everything, government around the it's not able to do legislatively, could be put on its head by a turnover. And that this race is that crucial. This is the race. Okay? I'm not smaller, frankly, as a sidebar, so sure that the Iowa race is as important. Because I don't think we're going to keep that. I don't think we're going to. Yeah, this is the one the party has said comes to the gate of the party. Okay? So I think anything else with that, I think he is the candidate. We should support him. We should work at it. Next Saturday, he's having a campus headquarters in Santa Ana. We should be there. We should be running the best we can to it. That's the support we can provide. Tangible, on the ground support. It's not asking for money. It is not expecting
I guess it would just make me feel a little bit better, because I understand why sometimes you do things on an emergency basis, but since I don't have my copy of Article 13, what are, without your extra color? Yeah, what does it say? Okay.
I mean, you can endorse a candidate, but endorsing the allocation of funds is a specific motion to do that. The motion before us does not have an allocation of funds. So it's a support of the candidate.
Okay. So is discussion through for this? Yes.
I asked her, because I was confused about what is that for. And I said, if I have X number of hours to volunteer, you have to vote. So you're right, you're fine. I mean,
Sergeant would like you. I'm not voting.
and it's actually so boring. It's
So
a bunch of
Okay. Is there any more discussion on that? Yes.
And I actually
has his cousin, working on our project right now. We'll get him.
That's irrelevant. I don't like that from the record.
All right.
All right, call for the question.
All right, let's call for a vote, guys. Okay, how many people want to endorse Mr. Solari?
I,
Solari. Solari.
If we're gonna.
Okay, is there anybody else who doesn't want to do that?
You mean like all those opposed?
All those opposed?
Raise your hands up.
Okay.
This one.
He's just voting.
Well, she didn't ask for you abstain.
Okay, that is passed, and we will be endorsing, what is his name?
Jose Solorio.
I'm saying
Solari. Yes, Mr. Rhodes.
I would like to move that yes, we can Democrats endorse Juan Rodriguez for the water reclamation board.
It's
Not
the water
boarding.
It's actually the water replenishment board. We don't want to see waterboarding.
Water.
Antonio Reyes, who actually is a member of our club, right? Yes.
I have a message. I would like to
Okay,
discussion in favor.
discussion on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So member of the candidate.
Bylaw said
She sent us an email.
Yes, Antonia, she's an
Active member, she sent an email tonight. She's very sorry she can't join us tonight because she's at the LA County Democratic Party regional meeting.
So let's take a vote. Yes, please. Go ahead.
I heard, I was at the, Women's Study Club, and, wow, they had just a quick presentation. And I'm confused because even though I think they highly Tona, I got no husband at all. Their even man who seems very qualified from his background. And who's the incumbent, who's the doing that. So that is a little different view than the wrong result.
Okay, so we'll,
He hasn't asked for an endorsement.
yeah. Okay, so can we go to the vote on that?
Well, yeah, because, what are our rules in the bylaws about, like, all those in favor, all those opposed? We have to have a,
You need a 2/3 vote.
okay, so like we can have someone abstain or vote against it, and still pass it.
Yes. Yes.
She hasn't memorized, that's why I knew. See, I'm Rochelle, I'm thinking.
We got a new position.
All right, so let's take a vote on that. All those in favor of endorsing Sonia Reyes Miranda for the water replenishment board, please raise your hand. Okay, all those opposed? Anybody abstaining? Okay, you can abstain, Susan, one abstention.
Motion or resolution.
Okay, two abstentions, okay, so that passes, so we, all right. Okay, now, Phil would like to make an announcement to everybody. I know it's getting late, I thank you guys for your patience. So, please.
Alrighty, tomorrow at 11 to 12 at Cal State University Long Beach Student Auditorium, our friend and leader in the Ellen Mohenthal will be speaking. And it's about a program that's going to combine classes that people can take in the Joint Peace Corps. So the new woman that's just been announced as the head of Peace Corps will be there, and then the representatives from the university. So it's a joint program that you take. It's geography and linguistics they're focusing on right now. They have to amplify it. And so they get funds to take, you get Peace Corps pays for the master's at the
When and where again?
It's great.
Huh?
When and where again?
Tomorrow, 11 to 12. Apologize for the timing. I sent an email saying I'd help you, but we were tying down the time and it took quite a while. And then we went to Alan's office and I had to go through the week of, they answered my call and saying that I'm very enthusiastic with their peace for volunteer. within 5 years with this book. And, but it went through the system where they were saying, we don't, we have to get to your question. So then Randy and I went down and tried to take it by hand. And so, and anyway, I know where it is and when it is, and it's probably fine. But I think Alan might like it. It's, he's going through a new election, and a little support from sort of the successful movement of that. Yes, he does. 100. That's right. 4, 6.
That's not his campaign office.
Okay.
Huh?
That's not his campaign office. That's his regular office.
No, it's his office. Isn't that
Yeah,
right?
that's congressional office.
Right, that's his congressional office, but they haven't set up a campaign.
I have an announcement.
Well, they're a little worried. Same thing.
Okay, short notice for tomorrow evening in Venice, Betty E at the fundraiser. There's a $50 buy-in for 12 members. It's at 6 o'clock, and it's on the Lindsboro President in Venice. So there's also one on the 22nd, which says it's also in LA. Yeah, Betty will be there supporting.
Okay.
All right, that's
No,
it.
we are going so far. I'm scrapping the rest of the stuff, the e-board review thing, the open discussion thing, the opportunity drawing, we're not doing that.
Everybody put $5 down on the.
I think everybody, I really thank you for your patience tonight, okay? I know you ran over. I just want to say one thing before I adjourn the general meeting, okay? Next month, at next month's general meeting, we are going to be voting for a president to lead us through till the end of the year when we have a regular election. It's going to be by secret ballot, okay? So I want you guys to please think about, voting for that. Okay, it's really, really important. The other thing is, I would like if everybody would make a suggestion on how to make our meetings a little bit smoother, a little bit more streamlined.
And shorter.
And, well, that's the thing. I was hoping to go from like 6:30 to 8:30, but obviously that just didn't work out.
Well, we had a speaker even instead.
Right.
Now it's 20 minutes.
But we always have something that we don't expect. Somebody has an announcement, somebody goes on about a certain, topic, and it just heats up all the time. So if you guys have suggestions on how we can be, a smoother, friendlier group, please bring it. Okay? Well, we need to improve on that.
One question in the process for this election. It says by secret ballot. Is there a nominating slate? Is there a
Nominations
from the floor of that night?
Deborah will tell you.
Thank you.
I nominate Green.
on the night of the election.
Rob's
That's the
floor.
way it
Right, I seconded you.
Please, Deborah, can you say that for everybody?
Yes, it's on the night of the election, in this special election, that the nominations are made. From the floor, and it's by secret ballot unless the group votes not to have it by secret ballot.
So anybody could be pressed. Think about this.
Think about it, all right? Think about it.
I nominate Chris Rose.
No.
But in the meantime, you might be thinking about January's coming up, and that's the election for the following year.
Yeah, all of y'all.
And the secretary, me, will not be running again.
So
So somebody take up the whatever.
Okay, I'm going to adjourn the meeting. Thank you, everybody.